Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Schermer, and I'm here today with our lunar eclipse full moon message for Gemini, and so thrilled to be with you. Before we begin, I invite you to take a breath with me. I'm taking a breath to bring forward the highest and best that's present for us now, with intention that every person receiving this message will receive the message that's the highest and best for them, for you, in the moment when you receive it. We're learning to connect across time and space. That's one of the new superpowers of this year, is to transcend the perceived limitations of time and space so we can be really present to the beauty and the potency of the eternal moment of the present now. And this is the breakthrough that we are poised to receive. The theme that I was offered for our eclipse is poised for breakthrough. This is a year of breakthrough. The year 2020 began with a lunar eclipse that launched our incredible historic conjunctions in Capricorn with Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter. The year is ending with a lunar eclipse and then a solar eclipse to follow in 2 weeks, and a spectacular conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn on winter solstice, and then the entire cycle concludes with the final new moon and conjunction in January. So what I would like to share today is the significance of this time and the way you can connect with the significance through energies of inspiration and opportunity rather than feeling the heaviness or the responsibility of it, which can be overwhelming. I'm feeling super emotional now. I've been excited all day about this message. I've actually been working with it since yesterday. And then once I sat down to bring this forward and to connect with you, I just feel this almost overwhelming expansion of my heart and opening of emotions. So if I seem on the verge of tears, it's happy tears. It's appreciation and gratitude for the beauty of all that we have experienced and are experiencing. We are poised for breakthrough. This is real. We are experiencing once in the energies we are experiencing are a culmination of thousands of years of history of this world. And so if you are feeling and aware of the intensity as we all are, it's because we truly are poised for breakthrough. So know that you are receiving exactly what you need. You are in the right place at the right time. And we are in this together. The energies of confusion and distortion and density and opposition and anger, all of those are the patterns that we are healing and rectifying and learning and working. They've always been here. They're out in the open now for all of us to integrate and to learn from and heal from and transcend. So let's dive into the message for today and the message for the coming 2 weeks. The full moon message usually works for the coming 2 weeks with an eclipse. It's actually extended, and I'll say a little bit about that. So I'm going to talk about the energies of Gemini and Sagittarius with the full moon. I'm going to talk about the significance of an eclipse and why every eclipse, which the eclipse cycles happen about twice a year, why an eclipse does offer breakthrough, and this one is phenomenal. And then I'll share the very practical and really special and inspiring spread we received for our full moon message. Okay, so let's start with the energies of a lunar eclipse. So a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth happens at a full moon, when the sun is shining on the moon, and then the Earth comes between the sun and the moon and casts a shadow over the moon. what happens when the Earth casts a shadow on the moon is the moon is temporarily suspended from its connection and disconnected from the sun. The moon is our transmitter of time and healing and cycles and rhythms of growth, always delivering in constant motion the energies of the sun through cycles and patterns of time. Those are the lunar phases. The sun and moon working together in harmony. And so during an eclipse, the sun and moon are temporarily cut off, and something special happens at that time. So with a lunar eclipse at a full moon, when the moon receives the shadow, what happens is time is suspended momentarily, our normal patterns of time. And instead of reflecting back the sun's light, which is the full moon, the moon is activates a doorway in the zodiac, a portal. And a portal or doorway opens at the exact degree, which happens with this full moon to be 9 Gemini. A portal opens and we receive quantum energy, the opportunity to receive a new evolutionary urge and a new evolutionary impulse and new evolutionary opportunity for growth and expansion beyond what would normally happen through our normal time-space sequence. So lunar eclipses are incredibly potent and powerful opportunities. The more we can connect with the opportunities present over the coming days, the more we will receive those evolutionary healings and breakthroughs and expansions. So my intention with today's message is to share with you some themes and practical tools to help you connect specifically in your own life and in your own body and in your own focus to the opportunities that are available right now. This specific portal and quantum doorway is open until the moon crosses 9 Gemini again, which happens on December 27th. So especially for the coming 27 days, you can pay attention to these new opportunities for expanded awareness and to grow and receive new leaps of development. And then those effects continue to unfold over time, but especially the coming 27 days. Okay. So let me just drop in. I want to synthesize this as much as possible. I'll show you, I don't know if we'll need to talk about the chart. There's so much here. Well, let me just show you the chart quickly. The chart for the full moon is a bowl pattern, moving from the moon on one side of the bowl over to Venus on the other side, and then all of the planets are held within this bowl. It represents a focused energy that is concentrated and integrating. It's a kind of a container. And I have an arrow to the exact midpoint of the bowl, which is at 20 Aquarius. 20 Aquarius is a specific energy of spiritual evolution. So this emphasizes, because it's at the midpoint, it is the focused signature of this bowl. And so not only do we have a lunar eclipse, but the focused signature of the bowl, the symbol is a butterfly with one wing larger than the other, signifies the right wing larger formed, signifies a new quality to use your conscious mind, your awareness, your thoughts, and your emotions to take an evolutionary leap. So not only do we have an eclipse, but we have this incredible synthesized container of support to give us, each of us, exactly what we need to go the next big step in our own lives. And remember, what you do in your own life, you do for the collective. So new evolution, new potentials for growth, and it is coming through a new capacity to integrate your mind and your emotions with new awareness. So that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, I think we can move this out of the way. Oh, okay. So big. The next thing we'll talk about are the actual energies of the full moon. So the full moon in Gemini, the tarot card for Gemini is the Lovers. The Lovers is symbolizes the capacity of Gemini for you to come into a new relationship with life. Gemini is the zodiac sign of higher mind, of a mind illumined by the heart, of the love and curiosity to explore contrast, to explore all forms of opposites and dualities and polarities in order to come to a new quality of wholeness. And so all the images here of marriage has to do with a marriage of yourself, ultimately, through new expanded relationships in life with your circumstances and with other people. Is a loving curiosity and commitment of discovery and exploration, observing in new ways, seeing in new ways. The Hebrew letter for the path of the lovers on Tree of Life is Zayin, which means sword. And Gemini is the expanded power of the mind, which is the sword, to work with truth at a higher level from the heart. And so you might even see in the background the cathedral in which the lovers are being married is made of swords. It's made of the love of truth. It's a truth that's higher than our personal preconceptions. It's the willingness to go beyond where we've ever gone before. And that's the court card for Gemini, which is the Knight of Swords. And what you can notice here is the beautiful green armor of the knight, who is flying above circumstances with the new commitment to truth, higher truth, which is the beautiful blue color, from the heart, which is the emerald green of his armor. And then the four propellers are a willingness to work with the powers in this world, symbolized by the four directions and the four guardians and the four elements, to come to a love of the harmony of the powers and cycles of time, all of that. So there are new capacities now for you to use your tools to elevate to new perspectives, new awareness, new qualities of observation, new abilities to listen and learn, to go beyond what you have understood before, what you have seen before, to discover new qualities and truths about the world and about yourself. And then that leads into the card for Sagittarius, where the sun is right now, which is art. And we also can call this alchemy. And so the lovers and the art card have a beautiful relationship with each other. They're both about learning to balance and find the marriage between all forms of opposition and duality in order to come to a greater union. And so Sagittarius is associated with all systems, spiritual philosophies. It's also associated with travel. That has to do with the love of learning of what unites us, the learning of the laws of the universe that create our life together. And ultimately, this is a card of blessing, of the gold, the Orphic egg in the background, the gold of the truth of who you are, and your ability to do alchemy, which is what's happening in the card, the merging of fire and water, the merging of will and emotions to create gold, which is the consciousness of the truth of who you are, which enables you to go into a new level of service in the world. And notice again the emerald green. I'm really being called to that today. The power of our hearts and the power held within our hearts is what we're expanding into in this breakthrough. Okay, so those are general energies of this full moon and of this eclipse. New qualities of observation, new qualities of learning, new eagerness to discover and explore in order to come to a new sense of the truth of who you are. So I want to say a little bit about the significance of the portal before we move into our reading. The energy of the portal, I'm working with the energy of the portal through the Sabian symbol or the archetype 4-9 Gemini, which is a quiver of arrows. The symbol of a quiver of arrows represents new mastery of the mind, So the quiver is the container that holds the arrows. The quiver represents your mind, the container for your mind, and the arrows are your thoughts and emotions, all the energies you send out to the world. In spiritual teachings, Sagittarius is also associated with arrows and the archer. So this is another unification between our mind and our ability to move forward in the world through the power of unifying our mind and emotions. And that's what the arrow signifies. An arrow is created with, if you think of an archer who makes their own arrows, each arrow is created with love, with skill. The more skill with which the arrow is created, the more surely it will fly. The archer also has to develop their own muscles and skills and abilities in order to aim for their target. This is a symbol and of new qualities of intentionality, of unifying your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions and feelings in order to come to a new quality of coherence of where you really want to go in life, and to treasure your thoughts and emotions and have more discernment about when and where and how you will send them into the world. That's the portal. Think about those qualities of unified mind, heart, and emotions, what that could mean for you as a potential for breakthrough, especially over the coming 27 days, and how all your circumstances and all your thoughts and all your feelings and all your physical sensations in your body, as well as your physical circumstances in your life, how all of these could be opportunities for you to practice new discernment of focus of your mind and heart and your emotions, so that you can come into a more intentional relationship and a more intentional sense of alignment with body, mind, and spirit. I hope that makes sense. It's so inspiring to me. And so now I want to share with you the spread that we received for our eclipse. Okay. So do we have both of these? Yes. Okay. So in the position, I like to start with the position of mind, which is the center of the spread, because this is the point that over which you have the most, I don't know if control is the right word, but where you have the most opportunity for focus and choice. Our mind and our emotions are our power center. And through the use of your mind and emotions, you come into balance with your circumstances. And then you also are able to give and receive help and assistance, which is the other quality of the spread, which is the card of the position of spirit. You're able to grow and expand into new qualities by receiving the help and support of your guides and the help and support of spirit. So we have now in the center of our spread, the Chariot. There are two cards that are very generally used as indicators of blessings in the major arcana. And one of them is Sagittarius, the blessings from your higher self for stepping into new qualities of alchemy in your own life. And the other card of blessing is the Chariot. And do you see how both of these have a lot of gold? The Orphic the Orphic egg in the background represents the consciousness of yourself. And the golden armor of the charioteer, who is you, represents your ability to work with your own gold as your protection in life, as your security, as your boundaries. So the Chariot represents a firm foundation in life, sitting in the lotus position in this beautiful chariot with the four pillars, which represent your ability to ground. We talked about the four a few minutes ago, to ground and be present in the world. And then holding a spinning wheel of fortune, trusting in the good fortune and your ability to be fully present in your life, to be stable, to feel secure and safe on your own chariot. The chariot is your life, your energy field. For those who work with these principles, you can think of it as the Merkaba, that energy that carries you forward. And then the chariot is pulled by the four guardians. And these are, again, the helpful energies and the support of the universe and the intelligence of the universe that always works in harmony to pull us forward on our golden path, the yellow brick road. One thing that I received in the meditation on this card when I pulled the spread was the reminder of this card being the signal of the breakthrough. Can you see how the chariot is coming out of a portal? That's the eclipse portal. We are in a new portal of time, a new doorway of time. And you, by emerging with trust and confidence in the belief of crossing a new threshold, can participate more fully in the ongoing portal that is the wheel of your own life, and the ability to live in trust and faith that you are being cared for as you move forward into the blessings that you will be receiving. The Chariot card of blessing, a reminder to live in trust, to use your tools. The practical advice of the Chariot is always about using your tools to ground and to establish healthy boundaries so that you can fully feel from a place of stability and security. The card in the position of circumstances is the Princess of Swords. So I want to circle back to the card for Gemini, which is the Knight of Swords. And you see how the princess has an even richer green to her armor. The Princess of Swords is moving forward from a place of new vitality, a commitment to victory, a commitment to success through the power of her new illuminated mind. This is the use of the sword for higher truth and for your own firm commitment to the highest and best for yourself and others, for healing. The green is always a color of healing and unity of body, mind, spirit. So she's rising up out of an altar that is turning into dust and smoke and density. And what that refers to is a willingness to leave the past behind. This is the new beginning of moving forward into the dawn of a new day with courage and conviction and trust and eagerness. The princesses always have a healthy energy of rebellion. And the healthy aspect of this rebellion is to commit to your own courage and the quest for truth, and to commit to leaving behind those emotions that can keep you stuck in the past: fear, worry, discouragement, and also limiting beliefs that have held you. The part of the portal of this full moon is opening our ability to see and experience new truths about the nature of reality. And as you are aware of those opportunities, you can be available to them. Know that the energy within circumstances for you to approach your circumstances is with a new sense of optimism, victory, and courage to forge new paths. The princesses are new beginnings, new vitality, new inspiration to move beyond where you've ever gone before. Nothing holds you. It's a new beginning, a new day. Those two cards really affirm this. And then the message of encouragement from Spirit in the position of Spirit is the Seven of Discs. The card is called Failure. In this position of Spirit, it is a huge encouragement to move, a huge affirmation that we are moving beyond old patterns and beliefs about the nature of reality. And there are, those of us in Mystery School work a lot with this card because it holds many beautiful teachings about the power of transformation. The seven, you could think of these 7 discs as seeds in the earth. And the number 7, which is the Chariot, the 7 of Discs is one of the cards associated with the Chariot. The number 7 represents transcendence. And the teaching of this card is fear of failure, because something is gestating beneath the surface and hasn't yet appeared. And so we all know the tendency we can have to go to fear when something hasn't fully formed yet. The teaching of alchemy and the teaching of learning to alchemize our emotions within is that work happens inside. Nothing shows up in the physical world outside until it's been created, gestated, germinated within. That's what's happening now. So imagine within you the seeds of new life being born. And the message of the fear of failure in spirit is that when you notice your own patterns emerging, the patterns of the past, limiting beliefs, limiting fears, limiting perceptions, feeling stuck, restricted, controlled, all of those limitations, recognize them as limiting patterns that you are now finding the new abilities and new capacities for a breakthrough. I think I'm pausing regularly today just because there's so much here and I want to do my best to synthesize it. The message, there's a word coming through, difficulty. Approach difficulties, however they appear, with fresh eyes. The past is over. There's a breakthrough now of circumstances being approached in new ways, with new magic, with new abilities, with new frequencies, with new optimism, and that will result in new outcomes. So whatever circumstances have been laid out for you in your life over the next, you could say 27 days, starting now, approach them with curiosity, with a sense of blessing and optimism, using your tools to ground, knowing that you're being supported, and then asking for how you can show up in new ways, to feel the sense of vitality, to look for new realities, new ideas, new understandings that you haven't seen before, and then experience them in new ways. Okay, final card, I always pull a fourth card. The fourth card is a huge exclamation point. We received the Lovers. So this is, of course, a message from the universe and from our guides, from our higher selves, that we can trust trust that we're on the right track, that we are being held, that we are being supported, that we are learning what we came to learn. Ultimately, we came to this world to remember who we are. The underlying teaching of the Lovers card is the journey of return to ourselves. You are here to remember who you are, and we are here together to remember who we are. And in that journey of remembering, to bring healing and life and vitality, not just to ourselves, but to our collective and to our world. So this is a time to celebrate the journey, celebrate the challenges as opportunities for quantum breakthroughs. Life is changing. We are in a birth process. And the more we can trust and show up in the moment, the more we can participate intentionally in the healing that is happening and will continue to happen. So thank you for your participation in today's message. I wish you much love and joy and health and well-being on your path. And I'll see you again in a couple of weeks when we have our Sagittarius new moon. For now, blessings and happy eclipse. This is Elizabeth Schermer and the Alchemy Mystery School.